Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you guys are new here, welcome. And today I'm going to have a sit-down interview with Founding Overall Father Ryku Lyght, and we're going to talk about his experience on the hit show Legendary on HBO Max, all about the drama, the contestants, the houses, the judges, and of course the elimination and everything in between. And if you guys want to watch last year's winner's interview, which is from the house of Miyake Mugler, Arturo, I'm going to list it right up at the top corner, and as well as check out my playlist of all my interviews that I did with seasons 1 and 2, some of the contestants there. And also, if you want to watch the full episode as well as watch my full reaction, you definitely have to check out my Patreon. It's going to be unedited, uncut, and uncropped, and you guys can check that out in the description box below, as well as my website is going to be listed there too, so you can support me and my channel some more and purchase some really cute t-shirts and some hoodies that you can represent your legendary selves with these cute items right here. And please give this video a thumbs up, because a thumbs up goes a very long way, you guys. And without further ado, I present to you Overall Founding Father Ryku Lyght. Thank you so much, Overall Founding Father Ryku Lyght, for joining me on my platform and just to sharing your experience with on Legendary.
Absolutely. I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much, Valerie.
Yes.
I really respect the time that we have here today. And yes, I'm ready to talk all things legendary.
All things legendary. So here we go. Let's get it started. But before we start with all that, I did want to say thank you for sharing your experience and your struggle, and your overcoming the struggle of sobriety and just everything else, you know, just like that. Because I think those are the stories that really need to be told, and we have a lot of that in our community, in the ballroom scene community. And it's good to see somebody that, you know, overcame all that, and it's something that's needed. So thank you.
Thank you. I absolutely appreciate it.
So first question, here we go. How did the House of Lyght become on Legendary?
We were actually asked to be on Legendary. I have receipts. We were inboxed. I feel like the application had went out, like they had announced that they were taking applications for Legendary. And maybe like 2 weeks later after that announcement, they had hit me up and saying that we want your house onto Legendary. And I was very skeptical at first, because being a new house parent and also having a new house, I already know I have a lot to prove. And I felt as though I was like, maybe my kids are not ready. But at the same time, I felt like it was a great opportunity to get my name out to all of Ballroom, instead of going to each state, like doing it one by one and be like, oh, like that, I got my name out there, and now I can go back and go to each state and prove myself, and they already know who I am.
Then you said somebody reached out to you. Who exactly reached out to you for being on the house, and how do they know that you had a house to bring onto the show?
I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say exactly who, but I have the receipts and the messages in my DMs on Instagram. They definitely hit me up. They were definitely from production, because I didn't reach out to Legendary. They reached out to me. That's the only reason I'm on the show, is because they reached out to me and they asked me, they wanted my house. They literally said, I want your house on Legendary. And then I had to go back and then fill out the application process. I still went through the application process. I still had to submit everybody for my house. I still had to do all of the social media. I had to plug in all the videos. Right. I had to do all of that work. So all of that for casting was still the same. But they reached out and said, hey, we think you would be a great fit. And then here's the application. Go to this link, fill this out, and then give us all the stuff that we need.
So next question. Major question people have been talking about, especially like on Facebook and stuff that I've been seeing, is that they wanted to ask you, did God really say to you, make a ballroom house?
Absolutely. And I don't deny anything that God has told me. It's always that little voice inside of yourself that says something, like, you know, you're supposed to move in a certain direction, but everything that is you says, baby, that's not the right step. Like, girl, I don't think you really want to do that. Like, are you sure? Like, I had all of those voices in my head as well, but I was definitely confident in the fact that I made the right choice. And at the very least, if I was delusional, if I had some type of like hysteria, I still made it onto Legendary, and I still proved myself as who I am and what I am all about. So at the end of the day, whether you think it's, oh, I'm crazy, oh, I was on one, or whatever, Miss saying I still made it to Legendary, HBO Max, everything cleared, background check cleared, everything cleared. So like, I'm not understanding like why you would believe that God didn't tell me, because that's where I'm at now with my house.
Okay, well, thank you for clearing that up and just really giving more, substance and color to that question, because a lot of people were asking that. So, next question was, episode 1, do you think that you guys displayed all 5 elements of Vogue during Grand March?
And so I honestly feel like my kids did exactly what needed to be done. I feel like it was way more entertaining than a lot of the houses. I would say the majority of the houses on there, especially the fact that they're new. I feel like the fact that they're new, that got held against us, and that's what they harped on, and trying to make it seem like that we're not ballroom, or that I don't have a history in ballroom. My history is being questioned. And I don't like that, but that's just ballroom for you. I honestly know who I am and what my value is, and I know what my kids' value is, and I think that we did the absolute best that we could, and it was a lot entertaining than some of the houses on that exact same episode.
Okay, yeah, I mean, and I like the fact that people, like you said, like, people are questioning, your things that you did in ballroom and stuff. So with that being said, just piggyback off of that, can you give me 2 moments of yours that are in ballroom that people would know?
2 moments in ballroom that people would know. Of course, when I first walked in 2005, I would say that another moment would be, all my moments honestly were on the West Coast. I also have another moment in New York. I walked Latex 2016. I went right after Chloe West. And then another moment out here would be.
So the Latex 2016.
Yes,
that was a moment of yours. Okay, and then the next moment is.
I would say building this house, honestly, because I've been so in and out of ballroom. I'm being 100% clear and honest. I've been in and out of walking. I haven't been consistent like every single ball, making sure that I'm coming with my 100% best because of my drug addiction. And I feel as though my history throughout, I have absolutely proved myself time and time again when I did hit the floor. I feel like people are now questioning it because I am on the West Coast and no longer on the East Coast. And I feel like East Coast and West Coast have a slight disconnect with what happens, honestly.
Okay. All right, because I just wanted to, because it would just to confirm to everyone, yes, I did this moment in this look and this is what happened, and then I did this other moment in this look and this is what happened, and people would be like, okay, yeah, it would kind of clear that up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm from the West Coast.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
There's a Blonic. Okay, so like Ovenus Ball 2015, I think also a Blonic production that we did. I was a Blonic at the time. There was one time I was the Ebony. Like, there's different moments, and it's been so long from 2005 until now.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, there's been several moments that I've had, especially on the West Coast. I'm not saying anywhere else, especially on the West Coast, because I am somebody that pumps the balls here. Because of my financial constraints, I feel like ballroom has been so infused with money and, like, gotten away from, like, bitch, if you don't have money to travel, then you try to do what you can where you're at. And that's just where I'm at. Yeah. And to say that I'm still not ballroom because of that, that's a shame.
Right. Okay. So moving on from that question, let's go to the next one. I want to go to my subscriber questions now. So the first subscriber wanted to ask you, do you think being professional dancers gave your team a advantage or disadvantage?
I would say yes and no. And this is how I'm going to answer it. Like, as far as ballroom's concerned, it gave me a disadvantage. because they weren't, that the culture wasn't in their vogue. It wasn't, oh, like, go to the, like, it wasn't that. And the culture noticed that, and it was giving, girl, that's not what it is. At the same time, at the same flip of the token, as far as entertainment and production value and professionalism, showing up on time, coming to rehearsals, making sure everything's in line. I don't have to worry about if they're going to show up or not, or if, you know, the girls get real fuzzy when it comes to professional line gigs. I'm not going to even hold you because I've been in the game this long. Like, I didn't have to worry about none of that. Everybody on my team are my kids. They're my actual kids. They're not somebody that I went to the West Coast and said, I need the best bitch because I want this 100K. Mm-hmm. That's not the reason why I went on the show. I was very honest with my kids. I wanted to share our story. I want to make sure that what we're building is something that has a foundation and is going to be like, oh, bitch, you don't know who the House of Light is, bitch. HBO Max, legendary, boom, done. And that is Ballroom.
So next question that one of my subscribers has for you was, how do you feel when Icon Laomi criticized your performance as nogging and receiving a 3, which we all understand now is literally the lowest point in legendary history so far from seasons 1 and 3?
Yeah. So her criticizing, I, first of all respect and credit to Laomi. Like, I've watched her for years since I first came out and watched her throughout her career blossom into who she is now. So absolutely what she said was accurate, except for the nogging part, because nogging refers to, I went to YouTube. I, myself, as a leader, went to YouTube and tried to pull and mimic things that I had no grounds into knowing. I felt like when she said nogging to me, it was like a white woman calling somebody a nigger. That's how I felt. I felt very disrespected because it said that I wasn't a part of the culture, that I'm not trying to teach my kids what the culture is about and trying to be in line with the culture. I'm a part of the West Coast Alliance here, which has all the major houses. I am doing the necessary steps as a father of a house in Ballroom. Whether or not it's on a national or international level is to be debated. But in my local, and where I am now, I'm definitely doing all the steps. I have thrown a ball here, like, so it goes into that. Because when she was talking to us, I felt like she wasn't talking to us like we were Ballroom. I felt like she talked to us like we were outside of Ballroom. Like, I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Like, I was completely virgin. Like, it's my first time out the gate, and that's not the case. And I have Ballroom history with several houses. Several. Starting with Karan, going to Revlon, Blahnik, Ebony. And then I created my House of Light. I've been in 4 different houses, and not those houses. I've been in those houses for years at a time.
Right.
It wasn't like I just went one to the other. I was in Revlon for 9 years. So, like, when people are talking to me saying that I'm not Ballroom, it really hurts me because I'm like, bitch, I've been in Ballroom. And then I also created my production company around the West Coast Ballroom scene, being the videographer and the photographer, doing kind of what Ballroom Throwbacks does, but just for the West Coast.
Got you. So that's how you felt about the nogging part. Now let's dive into let's go into the point system, which she gave you guys a 3. How do you feel about that?
I felt like the 3 was really, really low. I felt like it was low. Everybody else gave us 5, 6. Like, I felt like everybody else was like around the same. I felt like it was an extra hit of disdain because it was the audacity of you trying to get on the stage and trying to emulate what I do. And this is coming from like Laomi, like, oh, you're trying to do what I do, but you're not of the culture, but we are. And I feel like that is where she viewed it, and that's how she scored us. And I honestly don't think that it was a 3 because I think we did better than some of the houses. We were in sync. We were like, the performance throughout the majority of the performance was clean. Like, a lot of girls can't say that.
Right. And just 2 questions from what you just said right now. Do you think from the edit, because, you know, they chop and screw everything, right? We don't necessarily know what really is transpired on the stage fully. We only get little glimpses of pieces of stuff. So from the edit, from the viewer's perspective, from my perspective, everybody that's watching, did you guys showcase the 5 elements of Vogue?
Yes, I already said that earlier. Yes, we definitely showcased the 5 elements of Vogue. Okay. We definitely did. And without a doubt.
Okay, and then the other question just to piggyback off of all that other that you said, I feel like it's now becoming, you feel like you're very hurt when it comes down to them not respecting your tenure in the scene, your experience in the scene, and all the stuff that you gave to the scene, and that all might be true, right? And that, the thing about it is that it's more than just you in that position right there, because at this point, at this point, I think Naomi was talking about overall the house, like you and all your other kids, and you stated in the previous question that about, did the dancer aspect hurt or help, and you were like in the ballroom voguing aspect, yes, but in the professionalism, it did. So technically, you kind of are saying the same thing. What Naomi is saying is that it's not.
Yeah, but for her to speak out to me the way she said nogging refers to me going to YouTube clips and trying to copy something and trying to reproduce it. Right. Instead of me experiencing it. That was the disrespectful part of it. It wasn't, I felt like when Naomi gave her critique, I didn't feel like it was a critique like, oh, I can take this and this.
It wasn't constructive criticism to you.
Go back and make my team better.
It wasn't constructive criticism to you.
It wasn't. It was just like, I don't like what you did. I hated it. It's disrespectful. It's nogging. That's the way I felt it was. That's the way I received it. And it was like no consideration for my tenure in Ballroom, the fact that I am of the culture, and it was just like, you're nogging. Right.
And then I guess in my mind, I just want to express to you that it wasn't directly to you, and it was more so directed to your kids that have a professional background, because even one of your kids stated it on the show. Even one of your kids stated on the show is that, I'm a dancer, everyone can Vogue. You know what I'm saying? It's voguing, everyone can Vogue. And answer that question, we both know. That's not true.
We both know that's not true.
Right. So when
it comes with cultural experience.
It has to be instilled, and it has to be there. You know what I'm saying? It has to have the flow, the essence, all of that. So when she's saying that, it wasn't directly pointed to you. It was more so as a house overall. It looked like it was a dancer trying to Vogue, and it needs to be more broken into. And you said, you know what I'm saying? And so I get what you're saying.
I understand what you're saying. I understand that. But talking to me as a leader, right. And talking to me about my house that I created, there was no consideration of, okay, you're a new leader, you're trying to do the right thing, and that you're trying to teach your kids the right thing from your experience.
So can we agree?
Was taken.
Can we agree that it's not what she said, is how she said things?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. That's where it was like when she said it, because I didn't feel like I could take something that she said and say, I can take this and apply it to my kids. All I took from it was like, you're doing this wrong. You're trying to go on YouTube and trying to be this, that, and the other than you are. Not what you did on this stage. I think if you did it this way, if you moved this around and brought it back, I want to see you next time. I don't think none of that was said. It wasn't like, I hope to see you next time. It wasn't like anything like that. It was just like, girl, get out of my face. Because, girl, you don't know what you know.
But and we should know, and you should know, since you said that you've been here since 2005, 2004, 2000, you know what I'm saying? The early 2000s.
I said 2005, not 2004.
No, but I'm just saying 2005. So we should know that we've been in front of very stern judges. If that is something that can affect you like that, It shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? It just shouldn't have. Like, you
No,
know
but in the moment it did,
Yeah.
because it was very disrespectful. It was to say that I didn't know what the fuck I was talking about, that I'm going to YouTube clips, taking YouTube moments
Yeah.
and trying to apply it to my house. That's not what I did.
And then I think it's very heightened as well because it's your house that you started. It's on national
Absolutely.
television. Everyone is watching this. It's like I get the sensitivity.
It was just from her. Even Law kept it real. He said it was good, but it wasn't great. Like, somebody kept it real. Like, he gave critiques that were good and bad. You can't just go and say, oh, it's nogging, oh, it's bad, oh, it's this, that, and the third, and then not say, oh, this is what you can do for the better. Like, that's not a good critique for me. Even if you're a stern judge, even if you said it's not up to legendary standards.
Right.
But gave me the reason and how I could build and how I could transform my house to make it to those standards. That's what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I get it. But you know, the real ballroom scene, they don't even give you the reasons why they would.
Oh, absolutely not.
You know.
But it's a different thing. This is national television on HBO Max, which everybody from high school, like, everybody's tuning in. It's not just ballroom. If it was just ballroom throwbacks and I got a chop from a judge, I can always go up to the judge at the end of the night and ask them, what's the tea? But this is them giving feedback as well on national television.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's totally different. And you have to also think about, it's not just ballroom.
Yeah.
Because if it was ballroom, she would have just chopped and it would have been a chop and it would have been no back and forth. I sat there for like at least 20 minutes and got the critiques from the judges.
Yeah.
And then it got chopped down to, like, made it seem like it was like maybe
30 seconds, right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. So moving on from that, let's go to the next subscriber question, the last question that I have from them. Which house made you guys feel the most unwelcomed?
Actually, the way HBO Max has it set up, like, we didn't get too much interaction other than hi and bye from all the houses. We didn't even get a Vogue Kiki session, a cut-up session, nothing. Like, oh, here, we got an introductory, like, we were all in the same room, and after that was the last time we were in the same room. It was very much, welcome. If you try it, if you leave this property, it was giving very much, these are the rules and the standards that we have here. You can't go outside of your room without telling somebody. If you don't know where you are, your whole house is chopped. It doesn't matter which member. It was very much that when we first met, and that was it. I really didn't get any interaction other than hi and bye from everybody, and everybody was super friendly. I love everybody. From that experience, everybody knows what that experience is like from being on the show, and that is something that is to be treasured. And I have the utmost respect for everybody that's on the show. There's nobody that tried to shade me or anything. Even in the outtakes and all of that, I mean, it's TV too. It's supposed to be for entertainment.
So next thing I wanted to ask you, since we were talking about the houses and stuff, one word to describe each house on Legendary. I'll say the house, and the first thing that comes up to you would be just anything. Right? Okay. So, the House of LaBeija.
Very LaBeija.
What does that mean?
Exactly. It was very LaBeija. Very
exactly.
Very, they had Peppa, they had Crystal. It was very a moment. I lived for the House of LaBeija. Boom.
Okay, good. Okay, so House of Alpha Omega.
House of Alpha Omega, very ballroom throwbacks. Shout out to ballroom throwbacks. Like, shout out to ballroom throwbacks. Okay. Very Alpha Omega.
Oh, child, these are... Okay. Oh, you're giving...
I've been doing this a long time.
You're giving PR... You're giving PR answers. Okay, I see where this is going. Okay. So, the House of Revlon.
The House of Revlon, bitch. They killed it, bitch. Revlon killed. If you say Revlon, I say killed. Done.
Good.
It's a Dundada, bitch. That's my heart, bitch.
Okay.
Period.
Okay, good. Finally, now we getting somewhere. Okay. So, next house, House of Machiavelli.
Hey. Machiavelli.
Okay. House of Yoji.
I mean, because I'm...
Oh, my God. Go ahead.
I mean, for what it is, they sent us back in the battles. But honestly, like, I don't think our production was worse than theirs. Like if you really want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
it might have been dancers trying to Vogue, but it was clean in sync and Machiavelli was sloppy boots. This thing was shady.
Okay, okay. So next house is Yoji Yamamoto.
Yoji Yamamoto, bitch, that's performance, everything done. I loved it. I love Devo. I love Aoki. Like they do what needs to be done. Period.
Okay. Next house, House of Demir Versailles.
I love Demir Versailles.
Okay. House of Juicy Couture.
Juicy. Yes, Juicy's the Juicy. Like, I love their creativity. I have loved everything, every moment every interaction that I've had with the Juicies have always been, like, done. Like, they are definitely grand prize.
Okay. Next house is Alan Meekley.
Alan Meekley, like, I have sisters in Alan Meekley. Shout out to Katrina Alan Meekley. What's up? Like, I love the Alan Meekley.
Okay. So next house is Ada.
The House of Ada, I love the House of Ada. I feel like the House of Ada got the kind of same shade for being new that we got, but they went a little bit further. I definitely like the Fog performance. Shout out to everybody in Ada or Ada. Same thing, but maybe
Yeah, Ada. I'm sorry. Yeah, Ada.
It's Ada or Ada.
Right.
Either one.
Yeah, okay. And of course, last but not least, the House of Lyght.
Illumination, bitch. What's up? We're shining. We're putting light on topics that need to be discussed, that need to be in the vernacular, that need to be talked about. Like, we're here not just to be on the runway, but also to challenge the motherfucking culture about what we're talking about and what we have concern for.
Okay.
For sure.
That's a good question to something I just thought about right now. So with seasons 1 and 3 that are just happening, and people that from Legendary that are watching this or that are going to watch this from production, or people that are part of the show, period, what can you suggest to them to improve for next season, if there is a next season?
I feel like if there's a next season and they have people, you have houses that are going to show up, and you handpick the houses and you go through this whole entire process. The reason why they're there should never be challenged by a judge. The judges should know a little something about the houses, even if they watch the audition tapes or they were watching something. They need to be informed exactly who the house is, especially if the house is not international or one of the big, because they're now pulling from houses. They're not repeating houses. So they're pulling from houses that haven't been on the show yet. And the majority of the houses that haven't been on the show are pretty much houses that haven't been in the scene that long, or new houses. Most of the show are new houses. So I feel like the question of their authentication and everything comes into play. I feel like that should not be questioned if they're on the show.
Do you think that judges already have favoritism, who they want to go to the end?
I feel like it's not a question of I don't feel like it's favoritism. I feel like if they're known, like with any ball, if a girl is known, you tend to look at that girl. I've been on judges panels. Like, you tend to look at the girl that's known because you like, bitch, I'm comfortable with her. It's more familiar. And it gives very much, I know what she gives. I've seen her in the past. I've seen her tear it. Even if it's not her night, I'm giving it to her. So I feel like with the judges, I feel like they do need to be informed about exactly who's going to be performing.
That's true to an extent, I think. I think that...
And to an extent.
Right, yeah, because if you're really turning it on the floor and you really are bringing that category for what that category is, like, I'm going to give you an example. Because, it's a face situation for me. So I'm going to give you an example with Emery winning the 5,000. He was brand new.
Okay.
And he was walking against Exotic, and he was a well-known person. Emery ended up winning the 5,000.
When it's undeniable, it's undeniable. You're right.
So you can't really say, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like if it's there, it's just there, so, but Anyway, next question.
Okay.
Next question I want to get into. I do want to ask you about what do you think of Keke Palmer replacing Megan Thee Stallion?
I feel like Kiki's a great fit. I feel like she has a great LGBTQ following. I feel like her music has included us so much. I feel like her vernacular has already included us. Like, she's been so included in the culture that her being on the panel was definitely something like that is the guest judge to have. Like, I feel like she definitely knows who we are as a people. I feel like I feel like she was the one that actually was very receiving and actually gave a really good critique. She gave things that I didn't like, but also gave things that I did like, and then gave things that you can improve upon. And that, in essence, that makes a really good critique.
Okay, so you prefer her over Megan?
She did that for us, and I've noticed that across the board for the other houses as well.
Yeah,
or not? You don't think so?
I mean, I didn't like the flag option that she just did in episode 3. That was crazy to me. But
I feel like it was too early. I feel like when she pulled the flag, like, she already knew that they were about to be in the bottom, and she said, not my bitches." Wham!
Yeah, and
then she pulled the flag, because I felt like it needed to happen after the whatever house had went.
I feel like she said "not my bitches" because she likes them, when versus they did so good, they were tried, so I'm going to give this, So anyway,
I think that's because it was too soon, because she didn't see everybody else.
Yeah,
I feel like she should have waited to see everybody else and then pulled the flag. Like, "Oh, bitch." Those are my bitches, as a judge, you can do that. You can be like, "Those are my bitches. That's my house. So you're not going to do that."
Yeah.
You can do that as a judge, but I feel like she pulled it too soon for that.
Right. Okay. So next question is: was the House of Light ready to be displayed for the whole world to see, or would you have waited in hindsight?
You know what? Like, sometimes you're not going to be ready. Like, I felt like we were as prepared as possible, like, as far as the costumes, as far as, like, everything that HBO was asking us for. We definitely delivered. We were definitely professional. We definitely put our best foot forward. Like, everything had thought. Every single movement, everything had thought behind it. And the heart of what we were trying to do was definitely displayed. I feel like through the edit, a lot of things got lost, like my history got lost, what I'm actually doing it for, not just because God told me, how is this going to affect change in my community? None of that was actually, like, displayed, like what I'm trying to do, like how I'm trying to create an agency out of this, and not just be a ballroom house, but also be somewhere you can seek resources for whatever you need, as far as, like, being LGBTQ youth in Los Angeles. I feel like all of that got lost in translation, where they just kind of narrowed it into, I'm just talking about substance abuse and God told me to start this house. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was much more than that. But at the end of the day, I do thank HBO Max, because I feel as though my story needed to be shared with the world, and they helped me share that story.
And lastly, what other projects or balls or events you guys have in store for the people?
Balls and events that we have in store for the people. We're going to be at July 3rd is the West Coast Awards Ball, hosted by Icon, Divine Gorgeous Gucci, and Nico Gorgeous Gucci. We're definitely going to be hitting that ball up. Definitely be up in the building. I'm really just getting my kids ready for the upcoming balls this summer, because it's now ball season. Starting June. Actually, starting now. Yeah. Just a little bit before June, but this is like ball season.
I guess my main thing is I'm all about manifestation, putting stuff into the universe, making stuff happen. What do you want to make happen or manifest in the future?
Things I want to manifest in the future is an agency for the Los Angeles area. I want to definitely have a community center that has a space that people come and rehearse or do whatever they need to do in that space. Take photographs, rehearse, do videography, that kind of thing, like a creative space. I really want that for the LA ballroom scene. And I want it to be generated for us, by us. Like, people working at the front desk is ballroom. People that are teaching the classes are ballroom. People that are running the management is ballroom. So everything is ballroom and ballroom infused. And that it takes some of the slack off of some people, that they have a place to go to that feel that they identify with and that they feel like this place is for me.
Thank you for answering all of these questions, keeping it real, keeping it honest, keeping authentic to yourself, and just sharing more information about you and your house in just general. I hope everything happens for you. I hope your house does amazing at the awards ball in LA and just keeps on flourishing and grows and being prosperous and being a top house in Ballroom in the future. So again, thank you so much for coming on. And I also want to hope and pray that you do get this agency and that you do help the community and help more people out and just really just make people more informed about everything that you're doing. So blessings to you. Again, thank you so very much for coming on, babe. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Valerie. I really appreciate it.
Okay, babe. Okay, you guys, so that is the end of my interview with Founding Overall Father Ryku Lyght. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. It was a very interesting interview. He kept it real. He shared his side of the story. He shared his side of what he thinks about the situation and what transpired during Legendary. And, you know, also I had to share my intake and my thought process as well. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about this interview down in the comment section down below. What did you guys take? What did you guys absorb? What did you guys think? And most importantly, I really do hope that his agency does come into fruition. I'm all about supporting our community. I'm all about uplifting the people in Ballroom specifically, especially our trans women. So if you guys do have a business, any trans women out there, please message me, inbox me on my Instagram so I can publicly share your business so people can support, share, and like, and really just, you know, be in tune with what you have going on. And if you guys want to catch the full episode as well as watch my full reaction to the episode, definitely hit up my Patreon, which is going to be linked down in the description box below, as well as my website, so you can support me and my channel out some more and purchase some good merch, which is going to be right here. I am a legendary, so you can represent your legendary selves. And please, you guys, give this video a thumbs up because a thumbs up goes a very long way. Like always, life is your vision. It is whatever you make it, as long as you make it freaking fabulous. Until the next one, you guys. Bye.